back to the Off-Grid family. If you've been watching all of my other videos, you'll know that we've just got chickens. They were sort of rescue chickens, and they came from a flock that had a cockerel, meaning that they are fertile. Chickens stay fertile for about 3 weeks after, you know, the cockerel being taken away, which means all the eggs we're getting at the moment are hopefully, not definitely, but hopefully fertile. So what I'm going to do is I've got a new incubator, and I'm going to try and incubate some of the eggs, and we'll see if we can get some chicks. I've got 6 of our eggs that are hopefully fertile, and then I've got 1 egg that came from the place I got the chickens, so it is fertile, but whether I'm just trying to test to see about a shelf life, because it was kept in the same position for about a week. So I want to know if that's caused any problems. So we might get 7 chicks, we might get none. I honestly don't know. But I'm going to talk you through how to use this particular incubator and talk you through the process as I learn. You know, I know bits and pieces about it, but it'll be a learning process for me too. Let's get on with it. Before I start talking about the actual incubator, I'd like to just talk to you about the eggs. If you've never done any kind of incubating, you know, growing your own chicks or anything, there's a few little things to do. First off, I like to number the eggs. This one was laid by Bruce, so we've got the name Bruce there. Yeah, one of our chickens is called Bruce Willis, my son's idea. And then the date they were laid. The date they were laid is more for me to see, you know, it's again testing which ones are more fertile, which ones, you know, which are better and so on. And also, before I number them all, so that then I can, before the whole process starts, I can weigh them all. And you can weigh them intermittently during the 21 days it will take to hatch, and you'll know if they've got enough moisture, because they lose a lot of the moisture during the hatching process, well, during the incubation process. And if you know what they weighed, you can actually follow along on a chart and see if you need to add more moisture to the actual incubator, etc. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Brinsea Mini Advanced, and this thing is beautiful. The one I've got upstairs, which is my own one, is in no way anywhere near as good as this. Okay, so you plug it in at the back. Give it a few seconds to do all its blurb. And you can hear that humming, and that's because it's actually got a motor here that actually will turn the eggs for you, but I'll get to that in a minute. To get into the menu, press that, press OK, and OK is like the enter button. 37.5, fine. The days we want to do it. We want it for 21 days, so OK. I don't know what T mode is. Turn mode, possibly. Mode on, yeah. Turn intervals. Now, basically, so you don't have to come along and do all the turning yourself, this thing will actually rotate the eggs for you. So we want turn intervals every, I'm going to do 60 minutes. Turn angle, I want it to be on 10. For normal sized eggs, 10's fine, like normal sized chicken eggs. I've got some big, some small, so I'm just going to leave it at 10. Alarm, now this is really important. If the incubator gets too high, this alarm will go off, and we want this, wow, that's too high. We want it to be around 1 degree, because if they go too high, you'll end up killing the eggs. We end up cooking them probably, but if they can withstand a little bit cooler, but not any higher. So for the low alarm, I'll put it at 1.5. There you go. And now, this cooling feature is another really good thing. Basically, when you've got your chickens in real life, the mothers will sit on the eggs, then they will come off, go and eat, go and do what they need to do, and so on, and then come back to the eggs. So the eggs in real life will actually cool. So I want them to cool, and I think I'm going to do 60 minutes. But you can choose, you know, that's your decision. And now here you can change it from centigrade to Fahrenheit, but I work in centigrade. So there we go, and save. Now what this will do, this little indicator here is telling you that it will turn every 60 minutes. At a certain point during their incubation, this will stop, because that's when the eggs would stop being rotated anyway. But now this here is our temperature, the top one, and then this is how many days to go till hatching. What we need to do now is basically I'm going to leave this for about 4 hours. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the incubator gets up to temperature and stays there. You don't want to put eggs in on cold spots, because what happens is it heats it up all naturally and all equally, and then when you take the lid off to put the eggs in, obviously it all drops, but you want it to all drop in the same way, so they all get to the same temperature. You don't want certain ones being hotter than others. So I'll be back in about 4 hours. Okay, so it's been 4 hours and a small change of plan. My chickens had 2 more eggs, so I've swapped out the random egg and I've put one of their eggs in, just because there's more chance of them hatching. What I've got to do now is I've got to put the eggs in and the water. I probably should have put the water in at the beginning, but I just didn't think about it. So I'm going to remove the top carefully. Now I only need to add to the first one. If I find they're starting to get if they're starting to lose a lot of weight, then I'll need to add to the other side. And if I find they're getting too heavy, vice versa, I have to take it all out. But I'm plonking them all in. And this is how they turn, because this whole thing gets moved and they just roll around. It's quite impressive. Quite a loud machine though, I noticed. When it started to turn, let me put this back on. When it started to turn earlier on, I was a bit shocked by how loud it was, but it doesn't matter, it's in the living room out the way. And that's it. 21 days from now, we should have some chickens. Well, chicks at least. But I'll keep you updated, and every time I weigh them, I'll give you some readings and put some blurb up on the screen and so on. Okay, so that's the end of part 1. We've learned how to use the incubator and we've got the eggs in there. I will do videos each time something happens or each time I have to do something. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.